So our guest today started his acting career in 2001, but rose to prominence in 2008, is known on our screens not just for his looks, but for his talent. His ability to take on different roles stands him out from the bunch. Our guest is Freddie Leonard. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
we were talking about so many things before we actually came back.
Yes, we were.
So I was still saying that
Yes.
your looks belie your age. That is, you look good and youthful too.
Yeah, I'm still young, I like to think.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm in my late 30s, so I'm still young. So, hey,
You could actually pass for like 20 something.
that'll be good.
No, but I can see a bit of gray hair, though.
But this
So I
days,
can.
gray hair doesn't do it.
It
these
doesn't do
days.
any.
I
Yeah.
get that gray is the new six packs, right? So,
I love that.
Gray somewhere.
Okay, but let's talk about your acting. I mean, you've been acting and modeling for a very long time. So how long has that been?
boy, I did my first acting, like, in 2001. So that's, 18 years ago?
Wow.
And then I went on a short hiatus and came back in 2008. And since then, I have stayed put. I took that short break because I need to find myself. I tell people all the time, whatever you do, you might as well do it well. You understand? You do it well, you go die. You don't do it well, you go still die. So you might as well just do it well.
Love it.
So, but I had to find myself. I was in school and all. And then by the time I made up my mind to be an actor, it was 2008, and I played my first lead role, where I played Indian Doctor, the one that a lot of people remember. And then I stayed put, and it's been good all along. And then even when I came back in 2009, I said, God, I want a sign. I come from a family where you must account for every time you spend here on earth. And I did not want to be on the wrong track for a long time. So I said, Heavenly Father, give me a sign. Let me get the best deals in the first 3 years of coming back to Nollywood. And I got the best deals. I traveled the world between 2008 and 2012.
Wow.
So that was a sign that I'm
love that.
supposed to be here. So today I'm an actor and I'm a producer, not just an actor model anymore. So there's that smooth transition, and I'm grateful for it.
Fantastic.
Why acting though?
Why
How
acting?
did it start?
Why acting? I think it's, for me, it's God's calling. For me, I studied biochemistry in school, so I don't have a business in front of the camera. So I think it's God's calling. A family friend actually looked at me and said, come here, might carry you go somewhere. And then he took me to Surulere, and I saw what was going on there. I just fell in love. It was like love at first sight. But I knew that beyond that, I needed training. Beyond that, I needed to understand the challenges. Beyond that, I needed to understand that it's not about how fine boy or fine girl. You have to know how to act for crying out loud. And there was no way I would be able to do that if I didn't understand that I had to get the adequate training. So in all the times that I disappeared, I got training. I got training. I understood that I am just a tool that is meant to be used by any writer to bring every and any character to life.
Oh, wow.
And be convincing at it.
I love that. Not just fine boy without brains, Okay, so now you talked about your family and that how you have to account for everything that you do on earth. All right, so if what I read is anything to go by, it was said that you lost your father and then you lost your mom. I'm so sorry about that.
It's fine.
So now for somebody who is, I'm so sorry again, an orphan, and then you are still, you still have a good head on your shoulder and then you're still doing things right. Some people will think, well, nobody's saying anything, nobody is there to watch. I mean, they'll just start misbehaving. So what is that thing? You would say, what is the motto, your motto that keeps you going every time?
Upbringing, family. I say this all the time. Forgive me, sometimes I use very strong words because I understand that in this part of the world, it's only strong words that just make your point sink. Oh, say, Freddie, if I'm not talking like that, be a bit diplomatic. I say diplomacy does not work here. You understand what I'm trying to say? They say don't park there. A Nigerian person will park there until you get an army man that will start with the koboko. And then he will now say, okay, make I no park here. It's just our mentality. So I'm just going to be harsh and put it out there the way it is. A lot of parents don't do due diligence in terms of bringing up kids. See what's happening on social media. A lot of misguided adults, not even you, young people, misguided people in their 30s and in their 40s. And they begin to ask, what happened? What went wrong? Their upbringing. So for me, what has kept me grounded is my upbringing. So every day of my life, I thank God for the parents that God blessed me with. I thank God for the channel through which I came into this world. Okay, so I lost my dad 18 years ago. I lost my mom 3 years ago, but I am still here. All right, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't club, I don't jump around. What
you womanize?
I don't womanize, baby. You look beautiful, but I would have said, hey, can we go on that date?
I do have something very interesting to ask you, because a lot of times in the entertainment news, we're talking about actresses, Nollywood actresses, and how they've built a new house, and how they've done this, and how there's a new scandal.
Yes.
And then most people on social media and most fans and, people at home always wonder, so why is it that, the actresses seem to be getting all the fame, all the attention, all the money? Is it really lucrative for a male actor in Nollywood?
It is lucrative. I'm a producer.
Okay.
So you have a choice. They pay you artist fee. You fly business class, do fine boy. You blow the money, or you buy equipment like I'm doing, turn that money around, hire people, and then create your own content.
So are you saying it's lucrative as a producer or as an actor?
It is lucrative as a producer, as an actor as well. It depends on what you do with your money.
Okay.
You understand? Remember the people with talents in the Bible. It depends on the one that you got. What did you do with it? Stop making excuses. Yes, of course, women... in terms of fame, I think that the guys are even more famous. But in terms of financial gratification, oh yes, in terms of financial gratification, I think that women get more gifts from people because you have a lot of guys who would say, okay, I want to buy you a car, I want to appreciate you for this, but nobody wants to buy me a car. Now, bone to bone, man to man. You understand what I'm saying? So it now makes it look like, okay, the women glow more. No, the guys actually earn well. Ladies actually earn well too. But I'm just saying that the guys who should remember that nobody will buy you a car when you're old should begin to invest, begin to think that I have to turn cash around.
Now, we still have a lot to talk about,
yes,
right?
On that note, we're going to check out some of Frederick's works right now. I'll be right back.
We can go somewhere. Oh, we could travel to Calabar for the weekend.
Oh, just calm down. Look, just take it easy. I'm so sorry.
No, don't stop. I love to watch. I'm sure it'll be more fun being that this is my husband and my friend. Quiet!
No. Shut up, don't believe what you say. This girl is psychotic.
Go on.
This girl is psychotic. I didn't say shut the fuck up!
Go on! And he told me how lazy you were in bed. I was the best sex.
Unbelievable.
You also want to humiliate me.
Tess, stop.
Okay, so we're talking and talking. Like, Freddie is just so interesting. All right, so I was talking to somebody yesterday, and the person asked me what my quota is, like what I'm contributing to the country, to the. I mean, we can't just sit down there and be talking about government every time. We are the government, so I want to know, with your acting, with what you do, what is it that you're giving back to the society?
I'm taking people off the streets. I'm employing people.
Nice.
You understand? I just produced 2 movies back to back. Okay, I'm employing people, and then when I look at my production, and I have a minimum of 30 people under my payroll.
But when you say
I'm taking people off the streets.
Off the streets.
Yes.
So are you saying you have a lot of upcoming talents? You find promising acts, and then you take them?
When I say off the streets, I'm talking about cast and crew.
Okay.
Okay, cast, that is dependent on your talent. If you cannot act, I will not hire you. I don't mince words. Go get training. I think it is very repulsive that you're a bad actor on TV. It's sort of a letdown, and you're sort of looking down on the Ramsey Noahs and Olu Jacobs and the people that that have done this over the years. So it's a letdown on the business. You don't come here because you think you're a fine boy. I won't hire you.
But talking about
because you have a lot of people who think that this business is about looking good.
Oh, God.
Believe me, trust me, the characters
Can I go on the roof and twerk? Can I just go on the roof already and twerk?
Trust me, the business, the characters on the script has nothing to do with good
Freddie,
looks at
please
all.
chop knuckle.
Love it.
People tell me all the time, oh, Freddie, you look finer in real life than your movies. I say because because the characters that I play are not as good looking as Frederick.
Okay.
So if they go through pain, I go through pain. If they cry, I cry. If they bleed, I bleed. If they have a strain on their forehead, I have a strain. But talking about taking people off the street, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if an average Nigerian youth is jobless and has nothing to do, but if you put something in their hand, it takes their mind off negative vices. I like to believe and I like to think. And again, we live in a time, something just snapped in the late 80s and 90s. So you have people in their 20s misguided, wanting to do yahoo, wanting to do all sorts of things, wanting to get into drugs, female molestations and all that. But I like to think that if I can engage their mind in my only way, I take them off the street. So that's sort of a give back for me.
Okay, you were talking about character that you play in movies.
Yes.
If one check your work, it's more of you. Do you think that you are always being typecast? Like always that lover boy as older, wealthy woman or that guy that is falling in love with one girl, do you think it's always that way for you?
Okay, to be sincere, I would say it was almost that way until I did something about it. And I say this all the time. A lot of times when we sit on this couch, people say, oh, do you think you have been typecast, stereotyped? It's not the actor's fault. It's actually the director and the producer's fault. If you cannot look at a human being and see beyond the 2 earrings I'm wearing and see that I can actually play a homeless man and do proper makeup on me, then it's on you. It's not on me as an actor. I'm just here. I'm like a clergy, like a man of God, asking the Holy Spirit to take hold of me and then use me.
A vessel to be used.
You understand what I'm saying? And then you're looking at me like, Frederick, now fine boy, maybe we could just cast him for that fine boy role. Then it means that there's something wrong with your creativity as a casting director.
Love it.
So it's not on the actor. All right, but I have been fortunate to play different characters. I played a Hindu fanatic. I have played the fine boys. I have played a photographer. I have played a homeless man. I think I have gone 360. I think that's what gave birth to Cineworks Entertainment, which is my production company, because I feel that I have done really a lot. I have done over 150 movies and I have played diverse characters in close to 15 years. So yeah, so I like to think that I'm lucky.
So what did you do about it, though?
But
You said you did something about it, about being...
Yeah, I started dropping a few characters that look like what I have played.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So you were rejecting some jobs.
So yes, so that when you see me on TV, there is a hunger to sit down. When you see my movies hit the cinemas, there is a hunger. If you can predict what an entertainer can do, you might as well just sit at home and just press your phone and not care. Because I can already tell what you can do, bros. Nobody will be like, I know what you're going to do. But if you are unpredictable, then your market will sell. So I have tried over the years to ensure that you don't see me coming.
So Freddie, as a celebrity, what do you think of the social media as a whole?
See, people that set up this machine, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's doing us more harm than good.
I agree.
All right, there's a footage about a young fine girl who will go school that right now just that has sort of messed herself up because she went to someone's house, did a video, and who are you trying to impress? But then again, I think it's a product of the society that we live in, where the people who we're supposed to look up to as role models are living fake lives.
Yes.
So you will be saying they follow them, you're looking up to, okay, I think if my Oga at the top is doing this, then I might as well just do it. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
So it has to be addressed, it has to be talked about. I think social media is for us to connect, reconnect, come up with ideas that can move us forward as a people, you understand, on the continent and globally. But I think that we have misused that tool.
I completely agree.
We have misused it. All right, you want to borrow cars, you want to borrow shoes, you want to go to
houses.
You want to do all sorts.
So a quick follow-up to this. I mean, let's take a cue from what you've said.
Yeah.
So what do you think would be the solution? Because some people say we have not even started, like we have not even, like we are just beginning. So what do you think we can do? What do you think we can do to nip all of these things in the bud? That is, let us stop it already, and so maybe we can get our heads up.
I don't mean to scare you, but it doesn't look like there's anything we can do. You know why? Because once there's no data on your phone and network, they hang. People get frustrated. I never feel post something for Instagram. It's like an addiction. It's like aphrodisiac. If you haven't posted, if you haven't gotten validation from people. Now, what's the validation? The likes.
That's how you get your happiness.
Why this one get 300 likes? The other one gets 200. So if you don't get that, you don't feel confident, then there's a problem. So I think that maybe we should begin to talk to our spirit man. I think we should begin to talk to ourselves. Our mind needs reconstruction.
Yes.
Again, if you don't have proper home training, you would not know where to draw the line.
Okay, so Frederick, before we allow you go, now I have to ask, I mean, you look like a complete package in a man. I mean, from all the things we've said, intelligence, fine. Yeah. So let's go a bit personal. I mean, are we looking to get married soon?
Well, it would happen when it would happen. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Times are changing. And it has affected a few things positively and some other things negatively. And whether we agree or not, it has affected marriages negatively. People get married on Sunday and then they get a divorce on Friday.
Wow.
You know, marriages right now looks like a movie, that runs for just 90 minutes. Because a lot of people get into it for the wrong reasons. I'm trying to be careful. I want to get married. I want to love. I'm a lover man. Like, I have pictures in my head. But maybe I just haven't met someone that shares the same ideologies with me. Look, let me tell you something. Life is about perspectives. You get what I'm trying to say? Life is about perspective. Just like talking about typecasting. If you can not look at me and see that I can play beyond what I look like physically, then it's on you. And sometimes why you have conflicts in relationships and marriages is because your picture is entirely different from mine. And what is the picture? You have a picture of how you want to live your life, your goals, your drive, your dream, aspiration, where you want to go.
Yeah.
And then fine boy meets fine girl. Fine girl meets fine boy. And then the picture is not the same, but the physical attraction is the same. Now, when we go through champagne period, which is what I call the first 9 months, you understand me? We can't go jump, can't go marry inside the first 9 months. After the champagne period, you now realize that where you're going in life is different from where I'm going. And then there's that huge conflict and friction. And then you say, I'll not do again. So I'm just trying to find someone who's going where I'm going. And then we're happy.
I love that.
You are a bowl of deliciousness.
Thank you very much, Freddie.